Hey everybody, I'm back. Still set up and nobody's home, so it's perfect time to continue streaming. I think I'm gonna play some more games and then hopefully maybe get into some game development later. Let's see here. There we go, camera. Yeah. Make sure everything's working here. Microphone looks okay, maybe a little loud still. Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit so I can get close to it and not have to worry about it clipping. Yup, and talk like this, and maybe yep, maybe just a little bit louder. That looks about okay. And then if the desktop audio is hopefully it's probably a little loud, so I'm gonna turn it down. Of course, the audio in the game isn't as loud as this. Yeah, so we are listening to Sons of the Forest in the background. It's some pretty creepy music. But yeah, I'm going to boot up that. Should be a good time. Let's see here, small cam. Bring up the game. Oh, the game is on the wrong screen. So let's put it in windowed mode and see how it handles this. Well, what if I do that now? Okay, yep, that worked. And we are going to, oh, I'm on the wrong screen here. Go back. Now, normally I play with the controller. Normally I've been playing on Steam Deck, which the game doesn't load as well. So you have to kind of turn down the graphics, but it works pretty good on Steam Deck. Like for a while there, it wasn't working, but I think maybe with the Proton updates that helped it. Oh, the cat just climbed my face. The stream avatar, I messed with the camera, so the stream avatar stuff is a little bit off here. Yeah, quite a bit off here. Let me fix that real quick. Otherwise we'll have animals climbing around on my face. Yeah. There's a ladder to climb up over. Oh. And then what I did was I made like a little wall to stop them from walking off the edge. That should be good. All right. So yeah, I don't know if my face is gonna be in the best spot. Hey Kixie, thanks for joining. Hey, how is the audio? Is my voice okay in comparison to this loud music? By the way, it looks like you're some type of mage, your avatar. Let's see, I can move the chat box here. Oh, I turned it off. It's a little low. There we go. You don't hear music. Okay, so maybe now do you hear the music? Okay, so it was a little low. How is it now in comparison to my voice? Is it too loud or too low? This is a guessing game here. Turn it down a bit. Okay. How about here? That about good? Better. Maybe still a little too loud. Gives the game room to get loud when it does that. Yeah, so honestly that music at the beginning is louder than the game pretty much ever gets, unless you're like getting killed and there's a... So It's scary, Kixie. I'm just going to warn you that this game is scary. It scares me sometimes. You hear like these people hooting and hollering, and yeah, okay, you can watch it. All right, good. Yeah, sometimes they're like cannibals and mutants and like a mixture between them. I don't know if you know anything about these games, but yeah, cannibals and mutants, and you've seen pictures. Okay, cool. Yeah. So every once in a while you hear something and they make it to scare you. You know, I mean, it's not like jump scare, but it's like it's a survival game, but it's like a horror themed survival game, right? So it's like Minecraft, except the creepers are really, really scary and they don't explode. They hit you with the big stick or you know, something like that. But it's a good time waster as far as cutting down trees goes. I don't know. I kind of like cutting down trees, I guess. It's fun to do in real life too. I feel bad for the trees unless it's like overgrown, but you know, cutting down trees is always fun. It's nice to feel like you made a dent in the forest when there's like some overgrowth. Stream avatars, I see that interface makes me feel dumb. So are you talking about like the settings of stream avatars? Sorry, the music is gone. I need to hit the button. The settings, yeah. It's pretty weird. And honestly, I think they updated it or something. Or no, they updated something on the Twitch API. Okay, now there's my mouse. So like, yeah, it's weird. What I did was I made it like smaller than my screen, so that way it's really easy to work with. It does make the avatars bigger, I think, this way. And then yeah, it's like all I did was bother with that. Oh, the game's starting. So yeah. Oh, I left the I left the blocks up. Let me fix the blocks here. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. Get away here. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing again. What am I doing here? Yeah, okay, block's gone. Okay, back to the game. Okay, now the game's probably a little loud, right? Because it's still like the intro. The intro is pretty cool, actually. Oh, getting a little glitchy here. And like this was actually in the game right away, which I thought was pretty cool. Now this is the second in the series, so you can. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. Okay, probably about there. Sorry. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing again. Yeah, so I'm supposed to find these people apparently, and it's cool that you can kind of like look at the laptop. This was made in Unity, which is always interesting to me. If it jitters a little bit, sorry about that. It's probably because I'm playing the game on the non-main monitor or something like that. It shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, this game was in early access for like a whole year, and they updated it pretty frequently, actually. I think it was like once every month. And they were all good updates. It's always cool to see a game, and I guess with survival games it could go either way, but I guess it's a little bit more obvious than with like a competitive game where you have all of these strengths and weaknesses to balance, and nobody likes being nerfed. Yeah, I love this game. It's so weird. It's so weird. And the thing is that I haven't even really invested myself in the story. Like I've played a lot of hours. Like this is a new game, so this is fresh. It's always nice to start fresh, but when I started mine it was during the early access. So I had access to all of the exploits and stuff before they debugged it. So I had like infinite logs and stuff like that before they had the actual, cuz now there's console commands so you can actually cheat now if you want to. Which is nice. But yeah, it's been a little weird. I really like just building shit, and yeah, it's just surviving. Honestly, like this is my area. This is like my home in the other one. Like I've built this all up, but I need to get shit, otherwise I'm gonna die. Because that's what happens. And I'm used to playing. Oh wait, I need to talk to that guy. Where's my friend? There he is. Is that him? There's a guy that survived the crash. Oh, there he is. He's over there. I forget all about this guy, but this guy is really helpful. They didn't have anything like this in the first game. Basically an NPC that you can have do your dirty work for you. But of course he's deaf. I don't know how that happens from a crash, but it could happen. It could happen. He seems otherwise okay. Maybe the guy who pulled a gun on me stabbed out this guy's eardrums or something and just left him. I don't know. Sounds like a painful way to go. All right, so yeah, we are going to tell this guy to stay here because he's bait now. No, I just it like starts you with him telling you, or you telling him what to do. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna pick up this crap. And in the beta, it was great because this stuff would respawn every time you reloaded the game. And now it doesn't. So like in my like big save, I'll call it, I have so much stuff. I just have shelves and shelves of stuff and like infinite ammo basically. And yeah. I don't know how to pull up my inventory. Is it I? It is. Okay, cool. So if you just hit the button, it pulls this up, but if you hold down the button, it pulls out your backpack. Yeah. But yeah, usually I play on the Steam Deck, so I'm like still getting used to the controls here. There's a ton to the controls here. Oh, yep. The Improvised Survival Handbook. Yeah, I need the axe is what I need. Because there's some fish over here that I'm gonna need to eat. Otherwise, I'm gonna die. Where'd they go? Oh, there. Yeah, fish are easy to hunt. The water makes you sick in this game. And it didn't for like the whole early access period, but then they made it make you sick when the game got released. And I think that might be, well, first of all, I think that it's not very well explained about how to fix the water. I imagine you have to boil it in a pot. But the other thing is that, like, I think they didn't want to upset anyone during the early access period. And then there was so much that got fixed at the end. They're like, oh, here's the story's finally done. You can actually, there's a boss now, and like, you know. Because when the game first got released in early access, there wasn't even a boss yet. A lot of people were like, I can't play it because there's no boss. But, you know. What do we got? What do we got? Sticks? Gotta have sticks. Sticks are good for fire. Where am I? I wonder if I can adjust my settings to help it from getting all or I don't know, jittery. It was like dropping frames or something. India's upset about the early access Star Wars game. It runs terrible, and we get to fischl out. Yeah, no, I watched him play it, and then I watched some other random person play it, and it was just glitches and glitches and glitches for them. But then when I was watching FizzySerb, and maybe I wasn't watching as closely as I was for the other streams, but I didn't see a single bug. So I think they patched out most of those bugs. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, right. It looked like they'd done a good job patching it. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Indy was saying maybe console worked. Maybe that's it. That could be it for sure. Or maybe it was something about the like he was saying the SSD, maybe because he wasn't using an SSD, maybe that had something to do with it. Because games these days, especially of that scale, kind of expect SSD. You know what I mean? They just assume that you're a gamer, you're playing on a PC, you probably have SSD. Yeah. But what do we got here? We got quality preset, custom, extra low, 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 low. So I think I have played it on this computer before, and it's probably set up before. I'm gonna turn down the texture resolution and the anisotropic textures, because I don't really need that stuff, and it's just going to slow things down. Oh, and there's probably more I could probably turn off. What, like chromatic aberration? Oh, that's already off. It looks, I can see it in the menu, so maybe it's just baked into the menu. Like that's chromatic aberration, but it's like an effect. So I don't know. Anyways, back to the game here. Where I built my base before was on top of this creek. There's like a thing, and that's kind of a good spot, but it's also kind of boring for me because I've built there before. Oh, I have to hold shift. I'm like, why is this doing this? I think there is a toggle for that, actually, to be honest. Sprint toggle, yeah, and crouch toggle. I think those are important accessibility options for sure. So I mean, that way is cool and all, but I'm gonna go this way, and I have built a base this way before too, but I'm gonna go a little bit further than I did before. The water slide. This is like the quickest way to get around in this game, actually. This is just swim through the waterfalls. Uh-oh. Yep. The audio is doing something weird here. Have I played Lethal Company? No, you know, I've heard about it, but I haven't really looked into it. To be honest, I don't actually play a lot of horror games. I really like this franchise, and not because it's a horror game, but because it's a survival game and the horror theme. I like the horror theme. I do. I'm not like opposed of horror games. I just don't normally like go and play them. Every once in a while I do. Sometimes, yeah. No, I don't really. I used to when I was younger. I used to really like horror games. Like Manhunt was such a fun game. That was like an early Rockstar game. That was like one of the first games that like you couldn't record or like put on YouTube or something like that. That was one of those games that were like, oh yeah, you don't want to stream that game. And then the Forest, not this one, but the first one was like that too. Where is that poop on the ground? No, I think those were acorns, but maybe it was poop because it wouldn't let me pick them up. No, those are acorns. Let me get closer to the ground. How do you crouch? Isn't it C? Is it not C? course, the C on my keyboard is completely rubbed off, so... I don't know how to crouch. There's got all these letters popping up on my screen, but nothing about crouching. Maybe it's control. Oh, it's control. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure those were acorns. We'll look for some scat. I don't think we'll find any. Oh, there's some more. Yeah, those are acorns. But there, you would think that there would be some droppings, you know. You know what's a really cool thing about this game is that the devs, when they were making it, they used Disney films for inspiration because they wanted it to look like really, really pretty and like just really beautiful. Like in the first one, they went all out. They had a bird that would land on your finger every once in a while. Like if you were just chilling and it was like nice and there was no bad guys out, the bird would come by and land on your finger. It's just like starts whistling a little tune. And then you could kill it for feathers. Well, not that bird. That bird would just fly away. But there was other birds you could kill for feathers. So right now I'm just kind of looking for a good spot to chill. But like all of the good spots are kind of taken by like mutants and shit. Or the cannibals, not the mutants. Well, there are like mutant kind of camps in this one, I guess. The mutants kind of roam. And then the later you get... Yeah, this game's really not loading too well. It runs better on my Steam Deck, I guess. Yeah, we're probably going to run into some bad guys here pretty soon. And I'm not well equipped. I don't have a place to run to hide to. And, I don't know. But they've changed this game so much since the beta. And, I don't know what to expect, and that's kind of a cool thing. Like the last time I played, I found a golf cart, and I had never found a golf cart before, or not one that you could ride. Like this one you could get into and drive around the park until it ran out of battery, and that was like really fun. Also kind of hard to drive. I thought those footsteps weren't mine. I'm already getting paranoid. Like, this wouldn't be a bad spot because you're like blocked on one side. Like they can't climb that. They probably can't even jump that. Like even the jumpers probably can't jump that. They can't climb the tree. And it's nice and level because if you build on like a slope, that becomes really painfully difficult. But I want to show you the building because the building is what makes this game so freaking cool. So not only is the tree chopping kind of realistic, you kind of have to like go around the whole tree, and then yeah, it usually falls in the direction that you're facing when you get the last chop in. If you can get the last chop. And this axe sucks. There you go. So we got logs now. Alright, so this is a path. It's probably bad to build on a path like this. Probably a great way to oh shit. I know this. There's a dead body on the other side of this rope. He hung himself. He got drunk and hung himself. So what is the button to switch here? This button? No, that wasn't the right button. This button? There we go. Yeah, so this is what's really cool here. So I'm gonna put one upright, and then I'm going to put one like that. And I'm gonna go get those other logs. And one of my favorite things to do in this game is to throw logs at the bad guys. Because, well, they don't do much damage, but it's super fun to just like throw logs at them. And then so I take this other log and I put it like that. And now you can kind of see where this is going. You basically build a shelter. Poop corns. I just read that, I'm sorry. Yeah. So not acorns. Did I say acorns? I meant pine cones. That's what I meant. That's why they don't look like acorns. They're pine cones. Sometimes I think something and say something else. And that's what happened there. They were poopy looking pine cones. They did look like poop though. I don't know where the other log is. Yeah, so the more you cut down trees and stuff, the more the bad guys kind of like find you. They like can hear, but not really. They like spawn is what happens. But there's also patrols. And yeah, it's really weird the way that this works. I'm not really sure how all the AI works. I know that things spawn, and I know that there's patrols, and I know that things get more intense the later the game goes on, or at least to a degree. Because I'm on like day 102 or something, 103 on my other save, and it's crazy, man. These guys. Yeah, so you can see that's not completely level. I'm not sure if it's gonna let me build a floor on that. Yeah, you get like these guys that are like, they look like straight up demons. Oh, that was weird. That bush just moved. You see that bush move? Oh, it got killed by the log apparently. Yeah, straight up like demons. And then there's like a cross that you can find, and like if you hold the cross against or towards the demons, it's actually really effective against them. Okay, so yeah, that didn't work. I wanted to build on top of this thing, but it's not gonna let me because it's not at a good angle here. That's unfortunate. So I'm gonna build the same thing over here where it's flatter, maybe. Yeah. There's not a really good way to flatten out or level the ground, unfortunately. Oh, you know what I did? I told that Kelvin dude to stay over there, so he's not gonna follow me. He's gonna stay all the way over there. And that's like kind of far now, because I just kind of left him at the beginning. He could have been helpful here. He could have been chopping down trees while I'm building the base. But meanwhile, I'm doing, instead I'm doing both. Alright, C button. Whoa, there's a cliff there. Almost walked right off that one. Wonder what's gonna happen here. Oh, only one of them. That was weird. And it won't let me do that. Alright, try that again. Alright, where are these logs at? I keep almost walking off that cliff. One of these days I'm going to just walk right off that cliff and it's gonna kill me. Yeah, that was a change they made too. You used to have to cut every single log in half to make those steps. And now if you're holding 2 logs and you hit the buttons, or did I say steps? Those planks. But now if you're holding 2 logs and you hit the button, it'll make all 4 of them across, and you don't have to deal with a bunch of loose ones like this one. Only one loose one, which I don't know, it makes it kind of weird, but they could have made it 4 or something, and then you wouldn't have this loose one for each thing. But if you if you build in 2s, then you'll be fine. That was hard for me to say for some reason. All right, so I'm going to drop this thing. Where's my axe at? How do I throw? This button, this button, this button, this button. Oh, not that button. All right. Get out of here, tree. Yeah, so far this game isn't very scary yet, right? I imagine it won't be long before things start coming my way, since I'm just out in the open on a path here. Because the patrols tend to use the paths. They send out, like, there's like scouts that like go ahead of the patrols, and they'll like go through the woods and stuff, but mostly, yeah. There. Now I'm safe. Nah, they can just jump right up here, actually. I'm not safe at all here. But you can go higher. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how big my other fort is, and like how long it takes to build stuff in this game. No, there's logs, but if I make a whole bunch of logs all over the floor, then they'll be easy to find. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe jumping into Retro Spaceball later. Like, it's been a while since I've really like taken a look at as far as like play it and decide what I'm gonna work on and then work on it. And I usually end up like trying to do something and then like not being able to figure it out fully, and then I get distracted, something else has to be done, and yeah. I'm not super proud of the way that Retro Spaceball has gone down, but at the same time, I'm proud of the game and I like the design, and like I don't want to stop working on it. It's just I think there's a lot of pressure that like people arbitrarily put on game devs to like release your game, release your goddamn game. That's what they say, and or release your damn game. They don't say goddamn because that's mean. People think. My mom would tell me not to say that. But yeah, anyways, release your damn game. That's like a big motto. It's like, what are you doing if you're not releasing your game? And I always thought that was kind of funny, because it's like, first of all, like, what is a release at this point? Is Star Wars Outcast out? Is that what it's called? Outcast? Is that a release? You know, is that what we're shooting for here? Because if they can get away with that, no, that's not the way it works. Indies can't get away with that. They have to make something that's highly polished and well perceived. And if it's not a hit, then maybe better luck next time, because you kind of need that hit status, otherwise I don't know who you are, is kind of the way that works. And it's not like a bad thing, it's just like, oh, I've never heard of your game before because it's not a hit in the indie world. And you know, once you dip into Twitter and stuff like that, you will be like, oh, I've seen this, because you witness the marketing and stuff like that, or something goes a little viral or mini viral. You know, these days when an indie game gets 50 likes, it's like, oh wow, that's no, it's not easy to get that many these days. So relaxing, cutting down the forest. I'm just asking for trouble now. All I've got is this rinky-dink axe. Making all this noise. Some blueberries. I heard something. What was it? This game makes me so paranoid because they will just jump up behind you. You only have so much time and energy. No idea the name of that game. Which game? I forget what we were talking about. I need to look at chat more. I'm so used to just like talking to myself and no one being in the chat. There we go. I don't want that. Get rid of it. Don't want this. That worked. Alright. Log time. We got lots of logs now. It's why I like to do content around indie games. It's hard for them to get exposure. I know I'm not big or anything, but it's another voice to help. Kixie, your streams are pretty big. I mean, I know what you mean, like you're not huge, but you're doing fantastic job. Like you really are. Like out of nowhere, you just like, hey, by the way, I've been low-key building a community and check out how good I am at streaming because I've been practicing. And it's super awesome. I'm super proud of you. Because like I just kind of came out of nowhere, like I said, in my eyes, because you were saying before, you know, back in the day, you were like, I don't know if I'm going to stream. You're welcome, Kixie. Yeah, I mean, you've been so helpful to me too. Like, of course I want to be part of your community. Uh-oh, there's that sound. Just in time. Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. We'll see how well this holds up against the first attack. Some woman just made bird sounds at me. I heard it. Uh-oh, something's crawling in the woods over there. I don't know how to use the lighter. Is it L? It is. Okay. So what are they? Are they just as afraid of me as I am of them? Is that what's going on here? Nope. I don't think so. Those guys are super, super scary. If you're just like rolling through the woods, just like, I'm just making my way, like looking at your GPS thing, and then those guys are just like right there. Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was just figuring out myself maybe. Yeah, no, I think you're right. You know, like, well, obviously, you know what you're saying. Well, but Twitch is kind of a weird realm, and you know now you're like in the thick of it. You're deeper than I've ever gone. But it's also a really cool place, you know. I mean, there's a lot of cool people in there. Like, I'm so conflicted, you know, like about the whole Amazon thing, because it's like, obviously this is a good thing, and it's great that a company stepped up and said like, we're going to use our infrastructure and make this. But of course, I think my gripe is just that it's like, I don't know, if 50% isn't bad, but it's not like amazing, considering that like if you make a if you get a donation, like, I mean, the whole reason why they're donating isn't because of the infrastructure, it's because of the streamer. It's a lot of fun and a lot to learn. It is so much to learn. It's crazy. I think I'm just gonna spend the night up here if it'll let me. It probably won't. It's gonna get really dark here. I need to change the settings, otherwise it's gonna get like too dark to see. Let's see. Wait, what was it? Graphics, gameplay, display. Yeah. So I'm gonna turn up the gamma and up the brightness. And now we can see in the dark a little bit because this gets so dark. Yeah, I can see your dilemma. Yeah, it's one of those things, you know. Like, I was looking at Kick, and then it's like at the same time you get a lot of like really weird stuff on Kick that's like that Twitch wouldn't allow, even like what was it, like gambling streams or something like that, which I'm not like against gambling. Like I'm not gonna stop people from gambling or say like you shouldn't gamble, but like I don't gamble. I don't think I've ever gambled. Like, I don't think I've even bought scratch off tickets. Like, people have bought them for me, but I've never won anything significant on a scratch off. I want one of these to equip, and I want to put it on the floor here, but I'm standing on it, so I can't. Isn't there a way down? Where's the way down? It won't let me build there. How am I gonna sleep if it won't let me build here? Wait, I saw it turn white. Is that on the floor? On the ground? It's so dark. I don't know. It is a little bit of a dilemma, but like I don't let it bother me too much. Like, you know, I don't know. If I had like a big enough community, I wouldn't even think about it this way. Oh, they're on the ground. They're just waiting for me to come down. You know, like what we were talking about, Thor, right, from Heartbound and Pirate Software. He's a good example of like it took off for him. Like, he had the Kickstarter going, and then he had the stream after the Kickstarter, and he already had a Discord server, I'm pretty sure, and the subs are some for the streamer and some to keep the platforms going for the streamer to stream, and that makes sense. It does make sense, and the infrastructure is not cheap or anything like that, but let's face it, Amazon already has the infrastructure, so it's like they made it, like, I don't know, doable for sure, but also they made it so it's like 50%, which, and I don't think that's across the board. I think that's just for affiliates, and then for partners, I think it's depending on the partnership. I think they have different contracts for different partners. I don't know. I'm not like a streaming expert or anything like that. It's something that I've been researching for a while now, but I never got very wise. There is a podcast that I listen to every once in a while. Oh, that's a good girl. That's a good mutant. It's the three-legged woman. She was actually in that laptop. I don't know if she's fighting for me or running away because there's bad guys here. Probably running away. It's so dark. I have to look at my laptop because the big screen is too glossy. But yeah, what I was saying, like with Thor, where he's got like the perfect setup, like there's no way that you could turn that down. Like, anyway, I mean, it would be really, really difficult to turn that down. And even if you did it, you could take it somewhere else and you know, use it to create good, right? And that's the way I look at that, is that like he's using that platform to make good content for everyone, like, and not just good like, oh, that's something I want to watch. It's good like it's actually kind of wholesome in a lot of ways. It teaches people. It like he's like the Mr. Rogers of the game dev world is the way I look at it. And he's like my age. He's actually my age. I'm pretty sure he is my age. In fact, I'm pretty sure we graduated college the same year. So maybe he's not my age, but we graduated college the same year. And it's one of those things. He's one of the few people that could get a job. I'm just like looking at the ground in the game. He's one of the few people that could get a job when the economy crashed in the games world. Like, he was graduating during the economy crash just like me, and because his dad worked for Blizzard, like not just worked for him, was like high up in Blizzard, like it was a no-brainer to give the kid a internship. At least that's the way he told the story. I've actually been watching his streams on and off for a while, and then watching the YouTube clips and stuff like that for a while now. Just kind of, it's one of those people that I kind of monitor in a way. Like I just want to see what they're up to. You know, it's not like I can like what's the word? I don't even know. Like when you, it's not like I can compare myself to him by any means, because it's like two different worlds, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's like it gives me something to look at and to see, you know, what other people are doing, and things, you know, ways that worked and that kind of stuff. Of course, that stuff only really goes so far. All right, what button do I hit here? This button? Okay. This nighttime stuff is too dark. I'm gonna save. Yeah, so my big save, what I call my big save, is at 105 days. I'm gonna make a new save. And then Z, where did it go? Z. But yeah, like if I were to like come up with a community like that, there's no doubt in my mind that I would stream like all the time. In fact, I really want to do that kind of thing and kind of, you know, basically have a camera on in my studio all the time kind of thing. But I don't live by myself anymore. So that's not really an option right now. It will be, actually, not even that long from now, but it's like I'm not really able to start preparing for it yet, unfortunately. Like I could, like, financially, but like I don't want to spend a bunch of money and then have to move a bunch of stuff, or like, because I'm probably gonna move across the country again. Like that's the plan. I don't really like Illinois. Like there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that, like, I don't know, it's very political out here, because it's like it's a Democratic state that's filled with a bunch of Republicans. Yeah. And it's also like the Midwest, so like it's kind of metal, you know what I mean? It's kind of brutal. So like people can be brutal out here, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I'm like kind of sick of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, people can be brutal anywhere, and they are, especially any big city. All right, this guy, I've had too much of you running around. Oh, is that skunk? I haven't seen a skunk before. I'm distracted by the skunk. Look how cute it is. Oh my gosh, I need to kill it. Oh, I'm too slow. Oh, I'm hungry and I'm thirsty. Where are my berries at? Are these poisonous? Yeah, those are poisonous. Where are my good berries at? The berries do like nothing in this game. In the last one, they were like the way to go. I was like, grow some berries. And this one, it's like, yep, have a little bit of nothing for your berries. Luckily I have a fish and I have these MREs and some vodka. But there was a bad guy. He was like, he's probably chasing me now because I got distracted by the skunk. Nope, there's no skunk. Gotta kill it. Oh shit, did I get it? Did I get it? I think I got the tree. Did I not get the tree? Oh, I got the tree. I think the skunk got away. Oh, those are poisonous. Those are poisonous. I forget what you do with the poisonous berries. Probably make poison. Alright. So if I kind of go back this way, I think I can make it back to my dude. I think. Unless I'm all turned around. I might be turned around. The rabbit is just running through the river. I'll get you, rabbit. If it's the last thing I do. The rabbits are so hard to get with this little flimsy axe. And then the bad guys, they'll like wait until you're out of stamina to attack you. They're pretty smart. Be like looking on the ground, like doing something, and the bad guy's just like, by the way, I'm like right here and I'm gonna eat you. And then this island is huge. Like, I thought the island in the first game was big, but this one is like huge. I don't know, not as big as like Breath of the Wild or something like that, but it's big enough where you can get lost. You can get turned around and be like, I've never seen this before. But then there's like parts of it where it's like you need to get the shovel and dig this hole, and then you get the shotgun. You don't get the shotgun until you figure all that out. Like, holy shit. It's like a big puzzle, really. Wanting to smush cute things is a real thing. Like, as something is too cute, our brains overload. We have to smush it. Don't tell that to my cat. Okay, I am going the right way. That's a funny way to look at it, Kixie. The way I see it is that if you're like really hungry, then that rabbit might start like looking like it's tasty. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way this guy is. You know, he's got a fish in his pocket, so he's not too worried. Oh yeah, there's like a leveling system for your strength and your stamina. That's why he's always running out of breath. He's like, he's trained, but you know, he's like, he comes in on a helicopter with like a bunch of trained professionals, but then he's out of breath after like 5 seconds of running. Must have been eating a lot of Snickers or something before he left. Or it could be because I'm not holding down the shift button like they intended. Oh shit. Those footprints were scary. Footprint sounds. Foot sounds? Floor sounds? I'm looking for Kelvin? Kelvin? I think it's Kelvin. I'm looking for Kelvin now. Oh, he's up this way. I can see him on the map. Wait, are you cold? Running in the snow? Nah, actually, you don't get too cold in this one. In the other game, you would like get really cold, and then there would be like camera effects, and you would like lose your stamina. You'd have to stay warm and be by a fire all the time. But this one, they like start you in the snow and they're like, by the way, You're not that cold. And you can totally do the Skyrim climb. Or the Fallout climb. Saves my bacon all the time. They eat rabbit in Florida. I have had rabbit before. I was in Italy. And it wasn't... Oh shit, that tree just fucking killed me. Did you see that tree just kill me? I've never witnessed that. Of course, somehow the bad guys have found me. But it was the tree that did the damage. Guess I better get my trusty knife out of my pocket, which they didn't take. Maybe I should have waited for them to leave. Yeah, it was an evil tree. Should I get him? Someone's gotta do it. I got a little knife. Where's my stuff at? I think the yellow dot is my stuff. Hold on while I refill some life here, buddy. You got a big hook. I don't know if you realize that. I've got this little knife here. Yeah, I'm surrounded. I just walked into a huge spider. I'm not really a bad guy, guys. My stuff. Gotta get my... Oh, got my axe out. Now who's the bad guy? Now who's the bad guy, huh? Oh, go for the woman. Is that a woman? No, it is a man. Oh, you're smart with your bone there, huh? Hey! Right in the neck. Where was your bone that time? Oh. He lost his head. In slow motion. Yeah, it's crazy how slow this is compared to how well it works on the Steam Deck. Like, my computer's not bad, it's just old. I am dead. Dead. You can only die twice in this one. In the last one, too. They give you a little cutscene the first time you die. And that's it. I survived 1 day. 1 day, 1 hour, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds. So I was not trying too hard, I guess, there at the end there. Might be fun to load this up, but I think I kind of want to get into Retro Spaceball after dying on this one quickly, maybe. I don't know. How long did that take me to die? Oh, only an hour. It does take a second to load, and that is bothersome. The old music for Retro Spaceball. I've got a whole lot of music that I've made for this game. Not all of it is in the game, but a lot of the ones that I like are going to be in the next build. And I'm excited for that. I kind of want to spend some more time polishing them, but they're good enough for the next build for sure. Cool, is it loud enough? Can you hear it? I can turn it up a little bit. Rock out. Yeah, no. Like, I like the style that I made, that I kind of came up with. It's like, it's not 8-bit, it's not chiptune, it's not like a tracker, but it's definitely emulating that, and it, you know, I dig it. It's quick and easy for me to produce, and fun to listen to, and I really like these songs. I mean, some of these you can see the dates, but look at the titles of these tracks. Oh, this is the one that has that weird ending in it. I always forget that this is in here, but there's like just drums at the end for some reason. I must have rendered it wrong. But yeah, here's run 2 and here's run 1. And they're the same track? Yeah. So I think, I don't know what happened there at the end. Oh, okay. So that was an early version. And then this is the later version. You like that the titles are descriptive? Yeah. They keep my sanity is what it is, because there's a lot of music and stuff that I've recorded over the years. And once I got the MIDI controller that I've got, the Launchpad, no, not the Launchpad, what's it called? The Push, the Ableton Push. That one is so cool because it has all these built-in modes and like scales that are like, it's like, it's so cool because you like dial in like, oh, I'm gonna play like a you know, a minor scale, and then you know how like on a attacking my bass here. So you know how on a piano you have white keys and black keys, and if you just play the white keys, oh, there goes my power. If you just play the white keys, then you're playing in C major, right? And that's kind of how that works. If you were to like scoot things over, then you get other major scales. And when you're I'm like doing too many things at once here. So when you're using the Launchpad, I keep calling it the Launchpad, the Push, you can select the mode, and it's just super easy. It removes the black keys, if you will, right? So if you were to like choose C major, then that's what you would see, is just the white keys, and there would be no black keys. Or you can change it so you can see the black keys but they're dimmed, and that's cool too. So that way it trains you, you know. Not only does it train you what the scale is and how it sounds and what notes are supposed to sound good in this scale, but it also shows you where the black keys would be, so you can play them if you want, for like naturals and stuff like that. But yeah, honestly, I'm not like a big buff when it comes to music theory, because I never took classes really. I always learned with tablature. But yeah, it is helpful for sure. So this is my collection of oxygen tanks, which is actually supposed to be a commodity, I guess. No, not a non-commodity. There's not supposed to be infinite of these, but there was a bug where, and maybe they never fixed the bug. I assume they fixed it, but there was a bug where you could take, if you kept putting them on the shelf, it would like duplicate them, and then I just had a shelf of oxygen. So if I ever want to go scuba diving, which I never do, if I ever want to, then I can forever. Because I just pick up stuff over and over again before the beta, the early access was done, and like things were really easy to get a lot of or duplicate. Like these logs down here, I have these stacks of logs that super early in the game I made, because I was like, they're probably gonna get rid of this log dupe bug, so I better make a whole bunch of logs. And then I just like put them in these stacks and never did anything with them. And if I ever need to get logs, I either just tell the patsy to do it, Kelvin, or I just do it myself. It's super easy. I've got these zip lines, right? Oh, I fell. This used to look a lot different, but then when the final 1.0 version came out, they changed like the log holders, and there was log holders all over here, so everything got ripped out that had a log holder. Oh yeah, there's my girlfriend. She's a three-legged mutant. But Yeah, this was that same helicopter from before, but now I've got logs and stuff everywhere. I've got a little trap here. Because the bad guys like to come from this area. It's so dark. I think I have a flashlight. I've got a gun. And a grenade. I've got so much more stuff now. Maybe I don't have a flashlight. Got the rope gun. Is this slingshot? Taser. Got the cross. Yep. Yep, I don't see a flashlight. Yep. What's up, Lulu? Lulu and I have conversations in cat. Don't mind her, she's going to paw this thing behind me. Probably, maybe, I don't know. Oh, she's spooked. She's been doing this thing where she spooks herself. Too cute, you have to smoosh. Oh, she just ran and slid. Go ahead, open the door. It's half shut. Oh, she's getting weird. She's on her chair. I put a little chair. You want to say that into the mic? Oh, Shadow scared her. She is... I think she sees ghosts. Lulu, are you okay? You sure? It sounded like you hit the stairs hard there. Oh, yep, she's going at it with the mouse. Toy, the mouse, not a real mouse. I gotta clarify. I used to live in a place with a lot of mice. I've got my decorations here. We got some heads on sticks. You know, just to keep it homey. Got my dead fish rack. Yeah, my rope bridge that I didn't finish. And so they changed the rope bridges, like, which is fine, like, but they used to only need one rope. And these ones still only have one rope, but they changed the physics, so they're all at a weird angle now. So it makes it interesting to climb. It's a good way to die is what it is. Yeah, but it's doable. It's totally doable. Just gotta go up like this. I love bugs. I mean, especially in other people's games. Like, after this, if I get into Retro Spaceball, which is what I'm thinking. Oh! It didn't kill me. But yeah, Retro Spaceball's bugs are just not pleasing to look at, where these ones are like, hey, look, someone else's bugs, nice. I'm sure most developers get a feel of that at some point. Come on. Jump. All right. You accidentally turned off your computer. That's okay. You didn't miss much. I'm climbing the buggy stairs. Whoa. I think I'm gonna suicide and launch Unity. I should probably launch Unity now, huh? Nah, I'll suicide first. Alright. Bam. Oh, it didn't kill me. I'm just so... I'm not even armored. I'm just like so resilient. I meant to just close one thing. And I just shut down and on autopilot. I'm tired. It's okay. You can go to bed if you don't want to watch. I totally understand. I was gonna jump into retro spaceball here. I'm not sure if that. Oh, I killed myself on stick. Nice. Yeah, I'm not trying to keep you awake. I know that your schedule is normally puts you to bed at this time. It's like 2 in the morning here. Yeah, that's enough of this. Where is that? Pull up this. Oh, what are you yelling about? Oh, you get to see some mutants at least. Look at that guy. Oh, I hit the button. What are we doing here? Retro Spaceball. You got the day off tomorrow? Yeah, that's cool. I mean, you know, I think most people do, but either way, that's not going to change your sleep schedule just because you got the day off. You know what I mean? If you're tired, you know, just because you can stay up doesn't mean you should. Because everyone's got to wake up at the normal time eventually, right? So this is a nice little battle that's waging out here. I'm letting Unity load here. I was gonna switch to my iPad anyways, but I didn't mean to shut down so abruptly. Oh, you know, I mean, that's fine. I don't expect you to spend every second listening here. You know, I appreciate you being in the stream for sure. It definitely is better to talk to someone than yourself. I like talking to myself too. I'm good enough at it. So apparently I'm no threat to that guy. Or these guys. This is gonna give me nightmares. Not really. Oh, that guy was pretty close to me there. Yeah, the audio doesn't bug out on the Steam Deck either. I think my computer isn't good enough for this game. But that could also be because I'm loading Unity in the background, so. Oh, there's one of those one-wheel things. You can zip out of here. It's okay, guys. I'm not like a bad guy or anything. I'm a good guy. Just came to get my stuff. My crunchy onesies. And the one wheel. And some money. I'll take the money too. What's up, bro? Oh yeah, this thing is so hard to steer. I forgot. Are these coffins? Am I in the water? Am I about to die? Am I stuck? Oh, they're food troughs, of course. Okay. You totally missed. Oh, you didn't miss that time. I'm a good guy. I'm just here to take your stuff. That was my stuff. That was my stuff that they stole. I rightfully stole it from the forest, okay? All of that stuff. Yeah, no, I stole it from somewhere. 105 days. Look at all my stuff. There's a solar panel. Like, that's just a solar panel just pops out. Okay. Exit to title. Yeah, Unity is still loading here. It shouldn't take too much longer. It's not like I'm loading a huge game. It's just Retro Spaceball. I think Sons of the Forest being open slows it down a little bit here, so closing that should help. It'll close eventually. Oh, no, I gotta hit the button. That's weird. I hit close, but here it is still open. Yeah, so Sons of the Forest and The Forest were both made by I think it's Endgame? End Room? Something like that. Anyways, they were indies and they worked in film. One of them worked in film, I think maybe two of them worked in film. I don't know. There was some film background involved, and that's why it looks so good. And I think that's awesome. Yep. Unity's got to go faster. This is 110 B minor from January 10th, 23, render 1. So all of these songs are at 110 or 220, which is twice the speed of 110. And that's just something I did to keep it all the same tempo. I don't know. I thought that'd be fun. I like working in half times, and 220 is pretty fast, so it works for boss music, and then 110 is like, it's like, to me it's like the perfect tempo, I feel like, or at least close enough to the perfect tempo. Oh, looks like it loaded. Nice. So this is what Retro Spaceball looks like when you have it in the Unity editor. Yep. So you probably never used Unity before, have you, Kixie? This is the game view. You can see up here, this little bar we've got. And then what I like to do is I set it up like this, but you know, it's weird because it doesn't come set up like that. Rick's layout, right? I tend to modify things, but a lot of times this is like right in the middle, and then, or sometimes it'll be swapped with this one, the scene view, or like they'll be on the same thing and you have to switch between them. It's just so much easier to have the game view, the scene view, and then all of this stuff. This is the hierarchy, this is the project, and then this is your inspector. So anytime you click on something in the project, or in the hierarchy, sorry, or the project, you get this panel here, and that is going to be where you make all these changes. It's object-oriented language, they call it, but object-oriented design basically is when you have everything in a game object. So all of these are game objects. See these little squares? Those are game objects. These are prefabs, which are also game objects. And then it's a parent object, so this is a child object, and this is another child object, and this is another child object. And that's the way everything gets set up. They call it the hierarchy. And you try to keep it as clean as possible so it's easy to navigate, but there is this little search bar here that helps. So like if I was looking for, I don't know, some type of menu. Looks like weird OBS. It's a great grandparent. It does look a little bit like OBS because OBS is naturally dark. That's funny that you called it a grandparent. Yeah, Unity came out in 2005, I want to say, or something like that. But it was like only for Mac, and not a lot of people used it back then, but it was only for Mac. So, and there weren't any really good, I think it was the only engine for Mac, because there were not a lot of engines at the time. Unreal was still big for PC. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna jump into the game because this looks all weird, right? Because they're overlapping. They're programmed to only show one and not the others. And this looks different than the build than which is online. And this takes a second to hit play every time too. It's gotta compile it. At one point, it was taking so long to compile the game that I had to start rebuilding the architecture. And that's when I started to learn about architecture, because prior to that, I really didn't have much of an understanding of architecture. I was just like, hey, here's a script, link the scripts, and then if I need to, I'll link them the other way, and then I'll link this script over here, and then this script, and then I'll have this script that's linked to all these scripts, and they call that spaghetti code. I'm gonna turn off the music here so it's not overlapping. Yeah. Okay, so now we've got Retro Spaceball. So I just like to drag it out. It's big enough for me, but if I wanted to, I could make it even bigger. And yeah, but so yeah, I made it so you can switch between the things. I put UI, or I put animations on these. I changed these actually. They now have a line. Like having too many classes in Java. Classes within classes. Yes, exactly. But it's not like a too many situation. You kind of want to have, they call it nesting. You kind of want nesting in a hierarchy, but there's like the right place. There's like time and a place for nesting. Most things can be nested, and some things you can't. They like shouldn't be nested, or they will be removed from their nesting and swapped into a different nesting. And what's cool about Unity is like I was talking about GB Studio yesterday, but GB Studio has scenes. Well, Unity does as well, and you can actually, the scene is part of the hierarchy here. So this is actually the start scene, which is this scene that I've got loaded up, and then this here is another scene that gets created when I hit the play button. That's called Don't Destroy on Load. And what this is used for is my background music manager and my game details container. So, and what the game details container is that's actually all of the data for the player. So this is everything that I keep track of. So like, and some of this stuff is even stuff that I don't keep track of, or things that aren't fully working yet. Like the best time on some of these levels is all broken and stuff because it's not set up properly, which is stuff that I need to do. But it's really interesting because I decided that these things should be what they call singletons, and that they should be present all the time. So even if I change the scene, like I'll go to pinball mode here, and you'll see Don't Destroy on Load will stay there. Oh, what's going on here? Did it break? Nope, it just took a second to load there. Sometimes the editor will take a long time to load where the actual engine won't. Or like right there, it was like playing in slow motion for a second. Like sometimes the editor is doing a lot more than it would, like what they call the player is doing when you're just playing the game. Like after you do a build, because this hasn't been built. This is using the editor to play the game, and it's crazy because it looks just like the game, right? But it's not. And when you do a build, well, thankfully, this game is similar. It's very similar to the build, and that's because of the way that I've made it. But other games, other projects, they end up for some reason. Oh, yeah, there's no way out of that. For some reason, certain times you end up with like a bug, and the bug isn't there on the editor. It's only there on the build. And those are the worst, because you'll be sitting there thinking that the game works, and you'll be working on the game, like you'll play it in the editor, and you just be like, oh, it works, and then you go to build it and it doesn't work. And because the longer you go not realizing that that's the case, you don't know how to fix the issue. Yeah. So that's why I always recommend for new Unity developers to like stick to the basics of the engine and not to use too many editor code, because you can code the editor. That's how cool this engine is, and a lot of engines are like that. You can actually program things to work within the editor, so you can make tools that help you. You can program things that have gizmos and icons and stuff like, and you just make a new window that runs your own tool, and then you can sell that legally, and you can download other people's assets and tools, and the more you do that, the more convoluted the engine gets, and you gotta be careful, because sometimes it won't do what you expect it to do, and if you're not the person that programmed all that stuff, you might not know how to fix it. And a lot of times with assets, they're really good about support, but then other times they lose support, or sometimes the thing no longer sometimes people just don't provide the support, and then sometimes they stop updating the product, so it no longer works with the system like the way it should, or you have to use the old version of Unity. But yeah, so I've got this going here, and what's cool is when I play arcade mode now, I don't need to do the story. So like, and I think I was talking to you about this before, where yeah, you don't really need to do the story anymore. Why is this taking so long? What did I do? Did I click off of it? Oh, it worked. Something's going on there. Okay. But yeah, you can, like I was saying before, you can still see this don't destroy on load is still here with the BGM manager and the game details. So that way I don't have to load the game details every time I change the scene, and that I can have the music play between scenes. And that, I think it's, a lot of people get carried away with singletons, and I don't think that's a good idea. Some people are on the other side of the fence where they're like, never use singletons, and I don't think that's a good idea either. I think it's a good idea to use singletons sparingly when they're good to use, right? Because they work, but it could be confusing, and you don't want to have a whole bunch of things working across scenes when you don't need to. But yeah. Oh, what am I doing here? Yep. So yeah, now instead of taking me to the space station, it just takes me right to this menu, and I can start mission excuse me, start mission 1. So I got some really great feedback. Someone okay, so this is like a long story kind of. So I was doing a podcast with the Chair Racer dev. There's a game where you race around in office chairs. It's like a game maker game. It's a pretty fun racing game. And I was chatting with him, and I was like, hey, was your game part of a game jam? And he's like, well, yes and no. It was part of the feedback jam. So it's not really a game jam. You can put in any game that just needs feedback. It can be released or unreleased or whatever. And that's what I did recently with Retro Spaceball. So I got some really great feedback. Someone did a video of it and tested it. Yeah, so now, unfortunately now, if you go to the itch page, it says that it's a game jam game, which could be bad, I guess. Some people might say like, oh, it's just a game jam game, or I'm not going to download it, it's a game jam game. But it's not actually a game jam game. I was never in a competition. I just really wanted to get some more feedback from like fresh eyes, because a lot of times if I'll be like, hey, play my game, you know, even to you, I'll be like, Kixie, play my game, and you don't have fresh eyes on this anymore. And I'm not saying you're not useful anymore. You still are extremely useful in testing and feedback on kind of that kind of stuff, but fresh eyes are always like so much more useful. They just always are, and they're harder and harder to come by the more you like promote the game, right? Yeah. So what I really want to do, and I kind of have been holding back, is I really want to make more levels. And the reason why I got into that arcade mode was because I wanted to just like get into making levels and just like get like 50 levels in the game, and not have to worry about navigating the planets and all the explore mode stuff to make it interesting, and all the bugs that came with that. And it's not like I want to cut that. I might cut that. I don't want to though. I really like it. It would make the game get released faster if I cut it. But and you know, it kind of depletes from the core, which is something that I fought really strongly about when I was in like first starting development. Yeah, another long story. When I was, I'll put on some music now that I'm just kind of chatting here. When I was first starting the development, because I used to do art festivals, right? And I'd sell my art at art festival, and then yeah, it's probably just a little bit loud, right? Art festivals, and hey, Johnny Manjiro, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I was playing your game earlier. Really fun game. Really like that. I'll have to give you a follow on Itch. Thank you so much for following. Yeah, no, I was having a blast with your game, really. I was trying to beat it on hard mode on stream without using any state staves or anything like that, and I didn't. I ended up saying, okay, I'm going back to easy mode, and then I beat it right away on easy mode, and I was like, okay, I'm going back to hard mode, and then I did not finish it. But yeah, I saw your post on X. Gonna watch the VOD for sure. Awesome. Yeah. It did cut out at one point, and I started playing another game called Guntner at one point. But yeah, check it out, and I hope you get some valid feedback from that. Yeah, I did provide a little bit of feedback. The only gripes I had weren't really gripes at all. It was more about the not being able to tell the difference between some of the icons. And when I first started playing the game, I actually mentioned some of that in the stream, so it'll be fun for you to watch. But yeah, when I first started playing, the very first time I picked it up, I wasn't able to tell what pup or fox was because I just didn't know they were game modes. So I thought it was like characters, like choosing your character kind of thing. So I chose fox because it just sounded more interesting. And then I was like, wow, this game is like way too hard. And then I played through with save states and beat it. And I was like, man, that was way too hard. But I want to see what this other pup mode is about. And yeah, it was a little bit too easy then. And I was like, wait a second. I think I was playing on hard mode. Yep. Oh, nice. Always appreciate feedback, good, bad, or ugly. I'm the same way. I'm absolutely 100% the same way. If something is wrong with the game, I want to hear that. I want to know what's going on. Definitely prefer that than the opposite, where you don't know what's going on and no one tells you. That's kind of where my Game Boy game is at. I'm making a game for Game Boy using GB Studio, and it's like I haven't got a whole lot of definitive feedback on it of like, hey, this is a good game, or hey, this is a bad game, or like, why are you doing this, or I love what you're doing. With Retro Spaceball, it's the other way, where like not everyone, but a lot of people who play it are like, I love this game, or it's a genius idea, or they get excited about it. And that's, I guess, yeah, I was kind of expecting that same kind of response from Source Hack, my Game Boy game, and it just wasn't happening like that. But yeah, yeah, no, I really had a blast with that. I was playing a lot on my my Miu Mini. So this playthrough isn't my first time playing it. I actually have spent at least 5 or 6 hours playing it on my Miu Mini, and then this is the first time playing it with the emulator, like on my PC. Awesome. Is GB Studio easy to develop with? It is actually. It's quite easy. I can actually pull it up real quick. I know my stream info is probably still on Sons of the Forest here, but yeah, GB Studio is super easy, super intuitive, and like really fun. I honestly I want to get into NES though. I really want to get into NES development, and I made a Hello World using a tutorial, and I was kind of flabbergasted on how impossible it was to move forward without the tutorial, and how much I was just like clinging to that tutorial, and how it looked exactly like the tutorial when it was done, because it was just like word for word, because all it was a Hello World tutorial, and it was just so difficult. So yeah, this is GB Studio. It's a little bit like Unity, I think, because it's got the same kind of setup. When you click on something, it's like the inspector over here. There's no hierarchy, but this area where all of your scenes go kind of works as your hierarchy, because it's you arrange it, and then you visually kind of see things are lumped together that are similar. And my game's all over the board. I'm just kind of like testing out different ideas and different tutorials that I found, and just having fun with it, really. Because like I'm working on Retro Spaceball, and I work for another studio, and I'm living with my folks, like taking care of my mom while she's dealing with brain cancer, unfortunately, and it's just been a lot of stress in my life. And so GB Studio has been a way to like alleviate that and still make games and love making games, Retro Spaceball, this other game that I'm working on here, is like, it's to the point where it's like moving a brick wall sometimes, or scaling a cliff or something like that. There's a lot to it, the more you go into it. Wait, there's a better way to do this. What am I doing here? If you hold Alt, yeah, here's everything in the scene, right? And this is just the start menu. Yeah, so Unity can get kind of cumbersome, and this is like what people would call a small game, but it's more of what I would call a medium game. Yeah, so it's just like one of those things. It gets more cumbersome to develop, and it's not as fun. So I've been focusing on fun stuff, and that's where GB Studio comes in, because it's like, I just do whatever I feel like. Like, this song's a little bit louder than the other ones, huh? So yeah, with GB Studio, I just kind of like ran in and started making these weird levels, and I wanted it to be like, I can't remember what the hell the name of the game is. Like one of those games where you like stick to the walls and you gotta go around and collect all the things, like a collect-a-thon where you stick to the walls and like you move in the direction, you keep moving till you hit the wall. I wanted to do that, and there is a tutorial to make that type of game now, but there wasn't when I was looking at GB Studio and I started a game jam. So I made this little level, and I iterated on it a little bit, but mostly this is pretty much the same. And it's just like dodge the spiky things, pick up the keys and make it to the exit, and then I put in this little hack zone, I call it, so you get hacked, and then you go into these little fight scenes. Same thing, you go around, you pick up the things, you pick up all the things, and then you go back to where you were, and that's pretty cool the way that works, because you can store scenes on what they call a stack, And so like this would be stored on the stack, and then it loads that next scene, and then when you pick up all those things, it loads the previous scene from the stack and then goes back to here like nothing ever happened. So all the enemies are in the same spots, and the pickups are missing because you've already picked them up, and the keyhole is missing because you picked it up, and all that stuff. It took a minute to programming and get it, but like just doing that was enough to like, oh, I understand how this engine works and what I'm capable of and how I can do this and how I can make this fun. So I just kind of expanded on these levels, and they get harder and harder and harder and harder until they get like really hard here. And these other levels, I've had trouble with these levels for sure. And I put in like Easter egg on this level to make it easier to beat. And then from there, it sends you on this like RPG world where you have to like go through this city here and navigate from the sewers, which are over here. And then the sewers are like a level, right? And so the first levels are within the computer. You leave the computer, you go to the sewers, you go across the sewers, and then the wasteland is the next level. And then after that, you're back into the computers. Where are they? Somewhere over here. And you gotta do these computer little mini games that I made. Looks massive. Can't wait to check out more. Oh yeah, dude. If you want to check it out, it's on itch. Source Hack is what it's called. It's pretty easy to find. I could pull it up here. Let's see. I think it's 2 words. Source Hack. So it's not super easy to find if you just type it in, but if you type in game afterwards, it should come up. Yeah. Yeah, so here's the itch page. and you could play it on here. This is the 0.2 build, and I'm working on 0.3 right now. And then, or no, this is 0.3. I'm working on 0.4. And then there's also the Game Jam version there. But yeah, I'll throw that link in chat in case anyone wants to check it out. Nobody has to, of course. Oh, wrong button here. Where am I at? Oh, you got it going. Well, yeah, take care. Thank you so much for dropping in and saying hi, and I will enjoy the stream. Thank you. All right. So yeah, back to Unity. All right. So what I wanted to do before I got sidetracked there was to jump into a new level and actually just make a new level and just like jump in and make a new level. And I haven't put really any thought into it, but I also have like, sorry, walked away from the mic. I also have notes. So in the past, I've looked into this, and I do the old school, the clipboard. I think that is the way to do it. It was donated to me by the American Academy of Art, which was my college. Came with my diploma. Yep, the art school that closed down recently after 100 years. Oh, it's that stupid drum track again. I need to just remove this. Alright. Yep. So I might have already kind of worked out a level design, and that's kind of what I'm looking for here. Well, that's not a very good design. It doesn't seem very fleshed out. But it's doable. Maybe I should start with it. Maybe this is the starting point. I mean, I like the idea enough to write it down or to draw it out. Like, I don't know if you can see it, but there's the top where my yeah. And there's nothing at the bottom. So these things are basically what I would be designing. And I've got I think maybe not a prefab. Sorry, I walked away again. I think I've got something made in a level that's like that already. So I'm going to go look for that level. It's a green level. Level green 5. Oh no, level green 5 is the boss. I recently renamed that one because it was level green level 1. Okay, level 2. This is the one. Yeah. So it's already pretty much built in. I just need to shorten these and fix this and make it so there's like a back and forth zigzag motion. Because this level is more about this up here than it is about this down here. So what I'm going to do then is just duplicate this level. And now I've got level green 2 new 1, which is not what I'm calling it. I'm starting to fall asleep. Thank you for the stream. Have a good night. Good night, Kixie. Thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Yep. Yep. Enjoy your sleep. And then, so yeah, I'm going to rename this level and they call it green 3 new. Eventually these new levels are going to feel old, but there are old levels in here. And yeah, like scene 4. What the heck is scene 4? Ah, look how old this is. This is so old. But then the prefabs are sticking through the walls because I changed the prefabs and didn't change the level to match it. So what happened here was I redid the physics. But I also redid the lighting. I did a lot of different stuff here. But I kept everything behind. All the old stuff. Right? Like scene 8 here looks like scene 8 new, but scene 8 new has better physics. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to the level green 3 here. Gonna get rid of this guy. Disco tiles. Turn them off. And yup. So this thing, it's kind of a mess. Is it or isn't it? No, it's not. Look at that. It's not that messy. But these lights aren't attached, and they should be. Give me the light. Give me this other light. What am I hitting here? Is that not the right button? Alright, those are the lights. Alright, they need to go into the lava obstacle. Then the lava obstacle needs to be shorter. Alright, let's take a look at this pixel lava. We got all these lava blocks. See what happens when I remove them. Alright. Let's try these blocks. Alright. Still need some more blocks here. Oh, what happened there? Went too far. Oh. All right. And this thing. What is this thing? There's a few things going on here. We've got the colliders. All right, so these are the walls. Oh, because it's a prefab, it won't let me do that. In fact, I should be breaking this prefab apart here. Unpacking, not breaking. All right, so yeah, now we've got the walls. I'm gonna move this one down. The V key here. It's a lifesaver. Sometimes people don't know about the V key. I always like to let them know. V key is super useful. Alright, so this is the lighting effect. And there's two of them. Because it looked better. That way the wall gets lighting effect too. Oh, and then this light art. Pretty sure this can V key as well, yep. Because they're transparent pixels. And then there is the old player death zone, so we got to make sure we fix that. This thing, unfortunately, is like a pain to fix because you can't just manipulate it. You gotta do it using numbers here because of the way that's set up. If I set it up differently, it'd be easier, but then I'd have to look at it or like deal with the box sprite or I don't even know, gizmo something. Yeah, so then here this guy is like in the right spot, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that looks about right. So then here I can get rid of these guys. I'm just gonna turn this stuff off because it's the wrong size. Yep. All right. So there's the basis for my level design. Checkpoint's a little low. So you can see the V key didn't line that up as well as I wanted to, or maybe the level's not aligned. No, level's aligned. Looks good now. It's pretty close anyways. Yep, that should be tall enough. Okay, so now we've got these light arts should be on the block. Where the hell's that block? I think it's called 2D obstacle or something. Block obstacle, I don't know. Obstacle. Horizontal obstacle, this one? There it is. All right. That should make it easier. I'm gonna put them next to each other. What am I even looking at here? Oh, the top block. Okay. Yeah, the top block prevents the ball from shooting out the top, which used to happen. Interestingly enough. Alright, so we've got the lava and we've got the horizontal. Make a duplicate. Did I hit the wrong button? I blame Blender for that. And what's worse is that it deselects what you had selected. Control Z, you can reselect it. But yeah, Shift D deselects, I'm pretty sure. What is it? Yeah, deselect all, Shift D. Shift D in Blender is duplicate, but Control D is duplicate in Unity. Not confusing at all. All right, so here, what I'm going to do is just rotate all of them. Exactly -180. And let's see if I can't align this. What the hell just happened there? Oh, it moved it like that. Anyways, isn't it supposed to be like that? Alright. So yeah, next step would be to I need to look at my notes. Alright, so these are going to be staggered like this. And then the horizontal obstacle is brought down like this. So it's like directly in the way. Like, you can't just go against this wall and get up there. You have to like hit that and like get around it. Alright. What happened to the lights? Oh, there they are. Alright. Next, these things. What are these things? Breakable tiles. Duplicate. Drag. Drag. I like to whistle these songs. I know the microphone doesn't pick it up very well, but I really like this one. This song is so dope. It's like I don't know how to, it's a very primacy feel to it. Yeah. Like, not super primacy, but like primacy enough where it, like, it sounds cool. I don't know. I like it. It's got like a bluesy feel to it. I think it is a blues scale, actually. I can look it up here. Yeah, that was a C minor blues. So yeah, I've got this kind of shape thing going here, and I kind of want to select them all. Did that work? No. But it was pretty close. I had that too. I've got some things I didn't want there. Still can't seem to get that guy. Alright, now this guy. Alright. I think this is everything I need. I think. I need to double check this though. Hold on. I want to put this in an object because I don't want to have to fucking select everything again here. Alright, I need to close everything. Bring it back up. New object. Crap, it deselected everything. Alright, let's just create an empty... Usually there's an option to create an empty parent, but maybe because there's like all this different shit selected, it won't. I'm just gonna drag it into something. We'll oh wait. Oh shit, what's going on here? This shit's broken as fuck. What the shit? Okay. What happened? You were... What? Come on. The death zone. Did I move that shit? And then somehow not move the other shit? Doesn't make much sense. But now I've duplicated the issues, so here I am doing what I just did. I think that should solve it. Alright, we got the lava obstacle, the horizontal object. Where's the other one? Okay. And then these dumb bricks. Can I put them in a parent now? Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna call this new obstacles because there's clearly a lot of old obstacles. I don't know what these circle colliders are though. What are those? Why am I seeing circles? There's a sphere collider on the lava pool for some reason. That's really weird. Oh shit. Didn't mind delete that. Remove component. Weird. I don't need them spheres hanging out, making everything muddier than it already is. I like this one too. I like a lot of these songs. I like Don't Get Sick of Them either. Oh, this horizontal object is off too. It's the worst. I hate when colliders lose their graphics. It's the worst. Alright, put that there. How about this guy? This guy loses graphics too? Because he, yep. I don't know what the hell happened there. Hold on. Shut this up. This song reminds me of... The hell's that guy's name? Tom Waits. Oh, it's over now. Their percussion reminded me of my favorite Tom Waits album. Bone Machine? Bone Machine. I think it's called Bone Machine. Where did it go? I had it. Oh, there it is. So yeah, I'm just putting the collider back on the pixelite there. What the hell's going on here? Oh. Which one am I looking for? Okay. And this? Yeah, it's good to name things because then when you take them out of their parent object, then you can still find them. But deal with that later, I guess. So I've got my new obstacles. I like to use these as like folders, basically. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these out of the folder or game object that they're already in with the 2D breakable tiles one, and just kind of put them in my new obstacles folder so that way they're easier to select. Hopefully I can remember that they're there, but it shouldn't be too difficult to find. I can always just click on them and it'll tell me where they're at. Okay, so I've got my new obstacles. And so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to nest it further. And I'm going to call this obstacle group. And then you can put that or a 0, right? But it'll make a 1 by itself if you duplicate it, because that's the next step. Duplicate. And it needs one more. Of course, these pipes are kind of in the way. Yeah, I'm just checking to make sure that it doesn't go past this because the camera probably might not pick it up if it does, so. But yeah, that should be fine. I mean, it looks a little bit weird that it like lines up with the pipes like that, but I don't want to change all the pipes around. I could make everything just a little bit taller. Yeah, let's do that. Perfect. Just gonna manually move it here. And put it back again. Maybe the checkpoint should be somewhere in the middle. Could always make the level taller. Or does it need a checkpoint, right? It's like a later level. It doesn't need a checkpoint. Nah, it was in the drawing. It's probably, I probably thought about this. It was like, last thing you want is to drop the ball and have it go there after you've finished it, right? So now I need to do this whole number and trigger the safe wall. This is the one. So I just need to make sure that it looks good when it animates. And you can see it's close, but it's not good. So I'm gonna lower it down just a little bit. And try again. And still, it needs a little, just a little bit. That's better. Looks good. Cool. And now we should just be able to test the level. And that's the beauty about duplicating shit. Once you get it set up the right way, and you just duplicate the shit out of it, and make changes as minimally as you can get away with, and then you have a lot of content. Of course, you gotta test it and make sure it's fun. Unfortunately, that wasn't as fun as I was hoping it would be, so I need to put some obstacles in the middle and fix what's going on at the top there, because it comes down over the checkpoint here. So we'll just put it there, and or you know what, we'll put it like here, because we want this to look okay. Oh, wrong one. We want it to look good. We don't want it to look not good. Yep, that looks good. Oh, here we go. All right, so I can put breaker blocks in, or I can move the enemies around. I've got my enemy 2D group here. This thing gets turned on after the player starts, so I need to make sure that I turn it off afterwards. But yeah, this should be a good enough way to do things, right? We just put it in the middle. That way the ball can't just zoom up through the middle. It's got to deal with the challenges of the level. Actually, that's a little bit brutal. Let's put them above the checkpoint. Because they'll bounce the ball back. Although, this thing might come down over them. Let's test it and find out. Oh, I should have hit save. I mentioned this before on stream, where you should always hit save before you hit build, because sometimes things can crash while they're building. Today we're safe. I'm gonna make this a little bit bigger so we can see. Well, it's good to see that the stream hasn't failed yet. Alright, yeah, so right off the bat, this level's instantly more fun. You know what would make it even more fun is if there was bumpers in between these things. That's where we're going next. So I don't know where the bumpers are anymore. It's been so long that I'm literally relying on my ability to organize, because I don't know if I made a bumper. Yep, there it is, a bumper. Luckily, my brain hasn't changed too much since 2017 when I made the bumper. Alright, so I'm just gonna put it in the enemy group here, because I'm pretty sure there's something. I'm not sure of anything. I don't know what I was talking about. So all they do is, this isn't even what I want. I want a bumper 2D. Do I have a bumper 2D? No, you know what I did? All right. Speaking of organizing things, I made a thing for the thing. Oh, the drums went all the way through. I was just about to turn that off. I was like, what the hell is these drums doing? What was I looking for? Oh, there's a folder. There should be a folder called Physics Prefabs. New Prefabs? Maybe it's called New Prefabs. No. 2D Prefab? 2D Prefabs. There it is. Alright, so that's what I want. I want a bumper 2D. Not just any bumper, but a bumper 2D. Because when I first started the game, I made shit in 3D. And didn't realize that it was going to work better in 2D. These are evil. Evil bumpers. You know, maybe that's too many. I think we'll do that. So that way it like ramps up the insanity, right? You can't just send someone into a rage quit right off the bat. You gotta get them ready to rage. Hey. Blown right up. Alright, let's make this bigger so I can see a little bit better here. Alright, killing the bad guys. Yeah, one of the pieces of feedback I got recently was that there shouldn't be any flat surfaces. It should all be slopes. And I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of like the flat surfaces. They bring difficulty as well as like some chill, right? Because now you can just like kind of chill. But that was difficult, and now it just knocked me down, right? So, oh, it's both difficulty and chill. So maybe I should ramp up the difficulty some more by adding more blocks, right? Otherwise, it could get too difficult too quickly for some people, like me. Okay, so that almost works. That shit's kind of fucked. I feel like the checkpoint's too high. So those enemies were also too high. There's no next level. What do you mean there's no next level? Zone 1? This isn't Zone 1. What have I done? Did I just crash the game? Remember how I said we were safe earlier? We're no longer safe because I just crashed the game. Oh. Are you sure you want to quit? No. I do want to save the game though. Or save the project. All right. Wonder if I could just bring all of this up. Something called an end zone. Of course, that means all of this art needs to be duplicated. Got the right wall and the left wall. All right. I think we just need to duplicate both of them. The level just got twice its size. But it shouldn't be all the way to the top. It should be a little bit bigger though. I can make it just a bit bigger. People like to see the change. They like to get like accustomed and then be like, oh, it changed. That's something else I noticed in the recent feedback. They got really excited when the levels opened up after like 8 levels of being narrow, and they're like, oh my gosh, the 9th level just opened up. And then the 10th level had a boss, and that was too much for them, I think. But I think they were also trying to get through more games than just mine, so where's that end zone? Where'd the end zone go? So I'm pretty sure the way that I've programmed everything, everything should just still work. Of course, these pipes are missing. But shouldn't be too hard to duplicate some pipes here. Easier said than done, always. Alright, that's a good number of pipes to start with. We'll just go down the line. This is how I made them before, and that's why they're so highly unorganized, but at least they're all in the same spot. I mean, it'd almost be better if they're in two different spots, but whatever. Not everything can be highly organized or heavily organized. Alright, I don't think we have to worry about the player getting higher than that. We will just grab a bunch of them. Oops. Alright. That was not right. Copy, paste, yep. Alright. Again, here the V key is coming in to save my life. And all of that art just got finished super quickly here. Oh yeah, so these are a little bit harder to recreate. These are actually tile maps. So I think I'll just end it there. These things need to be higher. Then we're gonna make more of them. Cause there's gotta be a challenge, you know what I mean? Can't just not have a challenge. Alright, yeah, we'll lower these guys. Duplicate these guys. And then there's gotta be enough to make them say, wow, that was a lot of enemies. Let's try this again. Control S for save. All right. Here we go. Okay, so the bad guys were a little low, but there was a good number of them. I liked the shape, and it felt right. Probably could have used even more enemies, to be honest. I know that might get a little crazy, but we'll do 3 more, and then we're gonna move the bumpers. We don't want all of them. We just want the new ones. There we go. Alright, and these guys are gonna be like in the middle-ish. We don't want, if the player gets past someone, we don't want to smash into them because that'll look bad. But this should be okay. All of my settings for stream avatars got messed up, so the people are still there even though they're not in the chat anymore, but that's okay. It makes me feel like I'm not lonely. That's why I put the cat in there. Like, the cat's there for when there's no one watching the stream. It gives me someone to talk to. Just like in real life. Where's Lulu? Hey! Attack of the pew pews. Oh shit, yeah, that made it that made it harder. Holy cow, that made it harder. That was only 3 more guys. I got one. Not gonna lie, I kinda like it how it is. Alright, well, yeah. The yawns are coming. I think I am going to save this and kind of call it a night here. It is 3:14 Pi time. Yep, okay, well, I don't have anyone watching, so there's no reason to raid, but thanks for watching. If you're watching the VOD or if you're watching on YouTube, I appreciate it. Big shout out to Kixie for being super supportive and joining this tiny little stream in the middle of the night. And that was awesome to have the developer from Palusa Saga, Kaji's Trials, join the chat and just chime in and say thanks. Very cool. His game is a lot of fun, and I definitely recommend it. All right, well, I'm going to call it here, and thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Goodbye. This seems like a good way to end, right? Be right back. Or there's this one. But I'm not going to the bathroom. Yep. Alright, bye guys.